Are you looking for the best digital cameras in 2026? In this video we will look at some of the 8 best cameras on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Nikon Z6 Nikon has been knocking it out of the park lately, and their latest enthusiast model, the Nikon Z6 III, is one of the best all-around hybrid cameras we've tested. With a unique partially stacked sensor, an excellent autofocus system, and some of the most advanced internal video recording specs of its class, this is a seriously well-rounded camera for both photography and video work. We're talking quick burst rates, minimal rolling shutter distortion, and 6K internal RAW recording. On top of that, it's well built and weather sealed, with effective in-body image stabilization (IBIS) and a high-resolution electronic viewfinder (EVF). Of course, all that power comes with an expensive price tag. Plus, Nikon Z series is relatively new, so it doesn't have the widest lens selection, especially compared to competitors like Sony. If you want more lens options for your camera, consider the Sony Alpha 7 IV. It falls behind the Nikon in a few areas, with a slower max burst rate and no 6K or RAW video support. However, it has a more seamless autofocus system and a more established lens ecosystem with more third-party options. You can't really go wrong at this level, but if you're looking for the best at this price point, the Nikon Z6 III takes the crown. At number 2. Fujifilm X-T5. If you prefer the portability of smaller sensor formats, consider the Fujifilm X-T5. At 40.2 megapixels, its sensor has the highest resolution of any APS-C sensor on the market, capturing images with a ton of fine detail and plenty of leeway to crop if needed. With its portable design, dedicated exposure dials, and 3-way tilting screen, the X-T5's photography-first design is also great for street or travel photos. Though it's aimed primarily at photographers, the camera has some surprisingly impressive video specs, with internal 10-bit capture, log recording, and 4K video at up to 60 frames per second without a crop. The Fujifilm X-H2 uses the exact same sensor as the X-T5 and is tailored even more towards pros and hybrid shooters, with a CF Express card slot and 8K video capture. The Fujifilm X-H2S, meanwhile, uses a lower resolution stack sensor, which reduces rolling shutter distortion and makes it a better fit for fast subjects and action. Still, both X-H2 models are bulkier and pricier, so we recommend the X-T5 for most people. If you want to save even more money, you can buy older used models in the X-T series, like the Fujifilm X-T4, which still holds up very well despite having a lower resolution sensor and lacking some of the latest video features. At number 3. Panasonic LUMIX G9 II. While we're on smaller format sensors, don't count out the Micro Four Thirds (MFT) system. With a very wide range of established lenses, many of which are incredibly small and lightweight, MFT cameras like the Panasonic LUMIX G9 II are the unsung heroes of the camera world. The G9 II is one of the most advanced on the market, with excellent hybrid features and a high-resolution MFT sensor. It's the first G-series camera to feature more effective phase detection autofocus, and all in all, it has excellent ergonomics, along with class-leading IBIS. But if you really want the size advantage of the MFT system, the OM System OM5 is a cheaper and more compact alternative. It's significantly more portable than the G9 II, so you can pair it with small prime lenses and have yourself a lightweight everyday carry or street photography camera. However, its autofocus isn't nearly as reliable, and it has less advanced video recording capabilities. At number 4. Sony Alpha 6700. A long-awaited update to Sony's APS-C lineup, the Sony Alpha 6700 is one of the best mid-range cameras on the market. With advanced video specs that bring it up to today's standards, including 4K 120 frames per second capture, internal 10-bit 4:2:2 recording, and IBIS, it's a great choice for hybrid in video shooters. It's no slouch for photography, either, with a 26-megapixel backside illuminated APS-C sensor that captures stunning images with plenty of detail and dynamic range, along with best-in-class autofocus. That said, the camera does have some limitations. If, for example, you need raw video output, the Fujifilm X-S20 is a great alternative and also supports 6.2K open gate recording. 4K recording, however, is capped at 60 frames per second on the Fuji. and its autofocus system is less reliable. Sports and wildlife shooters may also prefer the Canon EOS R7, which has better ergonomics and faster burst shooting, though lens selection is more limited for the RF mount. At number 5. Canon EOS R10. Canon is king when it comes to entry-level models, with a range of affordable, easy-to-use bodies at different price points. The best of these is the Canon EOS R10, which marries the familiar ergonomics and intuitive interface Canon is known for with a great APS-C sensor, some solid video specs, and one of the best autofocus systems you can find at this price point. The biggest drawback is that lens selection for Canon's RF mount is still quite limited, but if that isn't a deal breaker, there's plenty to love here. Now if you want to get a bit deeper into video and would prefer a camera with more advanced features like internal 10-bit log recording to capture a wider dynamic range, the Nikon Z52 is a great alternative. It's on par with the Canon in many ways, in that it captures excellent image quality and has comfortable ergonomics and intuitive controls. That said, while it's a bit better for advanced video shooters, it has a less reliable autofocus system overall, slower burst shooting, and a shorter battery life. At number 6. Canon EOS R50. If you're on a tighter budget, the Canon EOS R50 is one of the best budget cameras you can get, short of buying a camera secondhand. Like the Canon EOS R10, it features a simple interface and intuitive controls that are ideal for beginners, but it has a more compact body. On top of that, it has a good autofocus system, though it's a simpler version of the AF found on the R10, and good video features for the price, including 4K recording at up to 30 frames per second. As part of Canon's RF system, it's compatible with both APS-C and full-frame lenses. Though overall lens options are still relatively limited, that makes it a great choice if you see yourself upgrading to a full-frame body down the line. The Olympus OMD EM10 Mark IV is a good alternative if you want something even more compact. It's part of the Micro Four Thirds system, so it makes for a more portable overall kit and even includes IBIS, a rarity at this price point, but its autofocus isn't nearly as reliable. At number 7. Canon EOS Rebel T7/2000D. You could argue smartphones have replaced truly cheap interchangeable lens cameras, but the Canon EOS Rebel T7 in 2000D is one of the most affordable DSLR cameras that we recommend. At this price point, you won't find top-notch build quality or too many extra features. The T7 doesn't even have a flip-out touchscreen. But if you want to get a feel for photography beyond pointing your phone and tapping a screen, this camera will get you there without spending a fortune. While this is a very pared-down camera, it still features a great APS-C sensor capable of capturing excellent photos, especially when paired with a good lens. On that front, if you outgrow the kit lens, you'll have plenty of options within Canon's well-established EF/EFS ecosystem, which includes quite a few high-value lenses that won't break the bank. For a mirrorless alternative, the Canon EOS R100 is a solid, cheap option with a similarly pared-down design. There are fewer lens options, so we prefer the Rebel T7, but the R100 may be an attractive alternative if you want something more portable. At number 8. Panasonic LUMIX GH7. The Panasonic LUMIX GH7 is a powerhouse option for advanced video work. It's one of the most advanced Micro Four Thirds cameras on the market, and it's largely designed with videographers in mind. Nice touches include a built-in fan to reduce overheating, a tilting and fully articulating screen, full-sized HDMI, and a wide range of ports, along with a CF Express card slot for more demanding video formats. But while the exterior is nice, it's what's inside that really sets this camera apart. Internal ProRes formats, including ProRes RAW, 5.8K open gate recording, 4K at up to 120 frames per second, external SSD support, class-leading in-body image stabilization, 32-bit float audio capability, you get the idea. This is a videographer's camera through and through. Now, if all of the above sounds like gibberish to you, this camera is likely overkill for your needs. Thankfully, most modern cameras today have rock-solid video capabilities, so you might be better served by one of our picks below. If you're willing to compromise on some of the above features, the Panasonic LUMIX S5 II offers incredible value for its price when it comes to video work. You'll have to give up features like internal ProRes support and raw video output, to name a few, but it's cheaper than the GH7, and its full-frame sensor has a slight low-light advantage.